November 25th, the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, marked the start of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. It's a 16-day-long global campaign ending on Human Rights Day. It's a time to galvanize action to end violence against women and girls around the world. In Nigeria and much of the world, sexual violence seems normalized within socially accepted practices. For example, according to UNICEF, 1 in 4 Nigerian women are sexually abused before they turn 18, with majority of cases of sexual abuse in the country not prosecuted. Nigeria launched the first national offences register, setting up a database of those convicted for sexual violence. But how important is this step in clamping down on abuse? I spoke to a survivor of sexual abuse for many years who believes it's a first step, but she's quite skeptical about it, if it's the right step.
Growing up, I remember vividly after the time, I could trace when my sexual abuse started to when I was around 6 years old. I had this uncle, this family person. He was like a second daddy to me. I grew up around his children. I grew up with his wife. In fact, some people, if you don't find my family in our house, we are definitely in their house. That's how close we were. We were so close. We attended the same schools. The children attended the same schools. We attended the same church. We had the same friends. And this person was like a father to me, basically. And I remember that I didn't come into it. I didn't understand it until later when I was like 10, 12. And then I still didn't have the full grasp of what was going on. But it started around 6. It started with him coming around. He was always coming to our house, and then children were excited, so we greet him, and then I used to sit on his lap. So I used to feel like I was a special niece or something, because I mean, he used to take special care in a sense. And going forward, I used to bedwet a lot when I was younger. So I remember the first day he actually penetrated me. Like, I remember it now. I used to bedwet a lot. So a lot of people have to, most of the time, the mommies, the uncles, they will come and wake me up and then take me to pee and then put me back to sleep. And then I felt a sharp pain when he penetrated me. And I opened my eyes and I saw him frantically cleaning the bedspread. So, I mean, now I know he was probably cleaning the blood off. He went, took a towel, tried to dab, took a towel, tried to dab, and then that was when it started.
How long did the abuse occur? How many times?
Regularly, actually. Every single time I was around, I was in their house. He would come at night, he would sleep with me. There were times, even during the day. I remember there was this wedding we were supposed to go for. I didn't go to school because we were traveling. I was part of the bridal train. I remember this very well. I remember the clothes I was wearing.
What was your relationship with boys at that age growing up?
I was the only girl in a gang of boys. The boys were my friends. I don't know if it was something I caught on quickly or it just happened that way, but they were my friends. So if I was their G, they weren't throwing sexual advances. They were not asking me out. I wasn't the one they were asking out. We're all friends.
Were you at any point, did you feel pressure? Was there any inducements, drugs, alcohol, or anything?
There was this time when I started getting older, so I started having male attention, and then, so I remember him calling me one day, and he puts one small thing. I mean, now that I'm older, I know that it was just something to scare me. It was like thread. He tied it together, and then said I should say after him, I will not betray you. I will not let any other man touch me apart from you. Like, if I do it, terrible things would happen to me. And then he dropped it inside. He made me say all those things, actually. He told me to repeat after him, and I said it. Made me drop it inside something, water, and then told me to drink the water. And I did. So, I mean, that made me so scared at that point. Now, I just see it as God.
At what point did you say something? Did you confide in someone?
That my GS3 time, I was in GS3. GS3 was a remarkable year for me. So there was this big auntie that I looked up to in church. We're also all family friends. She made me get comfortable with her. And so one day, she asked me, I think maybe she was even suspicious. She asked me if I'd had sex before. And I said, yes, kind of. And she was like, with who? So I was like, this person. Because, I mean, she knew him. So she was like, oh, wow. And she was like, she was going to get back to me. Unknown to me, they were having an affair. So she went to fight him on a rival level, not fighting for me, not saying, why are you doing this to this young girl? So I didn't even hear anything from her again. The next thing I heard was the next time I saw him. So while he was sleeping with me, he was scolding me for telling her. So that was the first time. But after then, I couldn't tell anybody again because I felt like this is someone that should have been able to help me. And she wasn't able to help me. So I couldn't tell any other person until SS1, that my friend, it was my sit partner, it was a guy. We were friends. We talked well. We lived in the same area. And so one day we were just talking and it was like, because I was very hot there. People felt like I was one of the bad big girls. I wasn't doing anything. So he just said, I don't think you've done anything before. And I'm like, I actually have, but not the way you think. And I was like, talk to me. And then I told him. And that was the first right reaction I've had.
When did she first learn about it?
My mom found out in 2012. I was in SS2 at that time. So that my friend, I mean, we became emotional, so we liked each other. But we were friends. I mean, we couldn't even do anything because I was usually very shaky when it comes to things like that. But it was my friend, so it was my boyfriend. And everybody knew he used to come to my house. Me and my brother then, all of us used to hang out together. So there was this day my brother and him had a fight. And children can be silly. So it was a silly fight. Then I blew it out of proportion. I wasn't talking to my brother. I was keeping malice. So he now told someone that I'm keeping malice with him. I don't know who to. That one that told him to tell my mom that I had a boyfriend and that he comes to our house. Not like my mom didn't know. Oh yeah, so he had it that he used to stay in my room. And that was a lie then because, I mean, all of us stayed together. But I think he was watching out for me in his mind. So my mom was like, okay. I opened the door of my house to this boy. Does he want to come and be sleeping with my daughter in my house? Took our stuffs, went to their house to tell his parents to watch both of us, to be mindful. Like, she doesn't want any trouble. And he, in his anger, just told my mom, I'm not the one you should be careful of. You should be careful of this person. He has been sleeping with your daughter for a long time. And that's how she lost it.
How did you get over the emotional, psychological effects that this might have had over the years on you?
It was bad. I was always angry and I didn't have anything to do with that anger. I felt so helpless. So helpless. It felt like an helpless situation. Because even after, okay, yes, it has stopped now, but I still see you every day. And I was growing, so I was understanding what it really was as I was growing. So that came with so much anger and so much, this is what you did to me, this is what you took from me.
At any point, did you feel anger and that you needed to revenge?
It was going to be his word against mine. And he was going to deny it. And he was still going to go ahead and have the life that he already had. And I was just going to... I used to feel like something should happen to him. But I just let it go after a while.
Would you say there's like a culture of abuse, or rather a culture that encourages abuse in Nigeria?
There's a culture that maybe not encourages it, but it allows it to happen because most of the time, the people who suffer sexual violence are the ones that are being shamed for that act. And their parents, people that love them, they don't want them to have that shame. So when it happens, they just sweep it under the rug. They're like, no, we're not going to tell anybody. Just stay. We're going to take care of you. That's even if you have people that want to take care of you. Some of them see it as Oh, it happens.
Now, the government talked about the first national sexual offenders register, and that's convicted sexual offenders from 2015. Are you optimistic that that will put an end or that would deter sexual violence in any way?
It's a good thing. It's a step in the right direction, but it's like just a fringe. I don't know how to express it better. I don't think that is what we should tackle first. I think we need to tackle the culture and also the laws, the legislation. We should put legislation in place that punishes sexual offenders, people that sexually assault people. And for us to successfully do that, we have to be able to successfully define what sexual abuse or sexual assault is. And I don't think our laws are doing justice to that.